Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So today we are going to be talking about another type of mold called as the grey mold. I'll put the picture on the screen because luckily I don't have them in my garden, but if in case if you happen to notice. Now grey mold is has the same growing period like what the powdery mildew has, basically between the winters and summer. So when you have the transition period between winter to summer, that small little duration in between is when they tend to get active, just like the powdery mildew. But over here in powdery mildew, you have a lot of those white fuzzy coating on your leaves, but in this the leaves tend to turn gray in color. That's why it's called as the gray mold. Now usually they tend to affect the older leaves, or the ones that are weak, or the ones that are soft. That are the ones that tend to get affected first, and then it slowly starts to spread. So you have to be extremely careful. The moment you see a little bit of this gray mold initially, you can use any kind of fungicide that you have been using, any organic one, or you can use cinnamon powder, but please do not use neem oil. Do not spray your succulents with neem oil. I'm not very sure if that mold is going to damage, but the neem oil is definitely going to damage your succulent. So ensure that you check and rectify this mold before it starts to spread. If you notice it at the early stage, it's better to get rid of it. Let's say that one of or two of the leaves have got affected with the grey mold. Immediately discard those leaves and throw them as far as you can away from your garden, and then just start sprinkling some dry cinnamon powder. Now ideally this, as I said, this usually happens when there is a transition between winter to summer. Early spring, early summer, that's when it tends to get active. When the temperatures are cooler, this tends to affect the succulents. So ensure that you check on your succulents, and please avoid watering your succulents from above, especially when there are water or moisture on the crown area. Grey mold can easily attack your succulents, so that's why it's always advisable not to water your succulents from above. Do not drop water on the crown area, just water on the soil, because again that could lead to grey mold when the transition period starts between winter to summer. So you have to be extremely careful that you do not water on the crown area. As you can see in this picture, the grey mold has started on the crown area. Most probably the water was left behind, and due to this the grey mold has started to get activated and it has started to grow. So ensure that you do not water on the crown area. If by mistake you have water on the crown area, you always have a blower. Just blow off that water from the crown area and try to keep it dry so that it's not moist or it's not wet, because that can definitely lead to grey mold. So just keep an eye on it, especially during the winter to summer transition. A lot of molds tend to get active. One common one is the powdery mildew, and second one is the grey mold. So just keep a watch on it, especially when there is a transition period from winter to summer. Just keep a watch on your succulents. Do not water your succulents from above, and as a precaution you can always add a pinch of dry cinnamon powder once every 3 weeks or once every 4 weeks. This is going to keep things at bay, because cinnamon powder has a lot of antifungal properties. It tends to fight against the fungal infections, so it tends to work out really well. So it's best to keep a watch on it. As I said, the earlier you detect the grey mold, the much easier it is for you to stop it. But if it is very serious, then in most cases the succulent is going to die. So ensure that you do not let it reach to a stage wherein the succulent is getting destroyed by the grey mold. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.